CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Evan Kenny.
Next door neighbor just yelled out of his truck, it was driving away, there's a fire. So I'm like, what the heck's going on?
A community in north central Alberta evacuated as buildings go up in flames. Good evening. The County of Barrhead has issued a state of local emergency due to a wildfire. An evacuation order was expanded to the entire Thunder Lake subdivision. An Alberta emergency alert says there are structural fires in the subdivision 20 kilometers west of Barrhead. People in the area were told to leave immediately. They can take Highway 18 to Barrhead and register at the County of Barrhead office. People working in the area say the thick cloud of black smoke came out of nowhere.
Something's on fire at Marilyn's house.
All of a sudden, you could just see this enormous black cloud just peeking above the garage roof in the house. The first thought that went through our minds was, let's pack up and get out of here. So if there's any fire crews, we can just make sure we're not in anybody's way.
Witnesses saw fire trucks leaving Mayerthorpe to help battle the fire. Travelers are being asked to avoid the region. You can find up-to-date information at ctvnewsedmonton.ca and the Alberta Emergency Alert website and app. A Spruce Grove man is dead and a worker is seriously injured after a pickup truck smashed into a highway construction site early this morning. CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports.
A mangled Dodge Durango sits on Highway 16 next to the boom lift it smashed into just before 3 o'clock Thursday morning.
The impact moved the lift a fair distance. There was vehicle parts everywhere.
That includes its engine, visible near the yellow line. The driver, a 44-year-old man from Spruce Grove, was declared dead at the scene, and he's not the only victim. A 59-year-old man from Calgary was working in the basket of the lift when it was hit.
He had some serious injuries as a result of that and was transported to hospital.
A product page for the same model of boom lift says it weighs 38,000 pounds, or about 17 metric tons. It appears to have been pushed out from under the bridge and across a lane by the force of the collision.
It's almost like hitting a wall.
A picture provided by RCMP shows the right lane was closed with all the usual signage and barricades. The worst damage to the front of the SUV is on the driver's side. RCMP investigators are still reconstructing the scene.
It could be that the driver may not have seen the lift at the time, saw the lift at the last moment, tried to make some corrective actions.
Transportation Minister Devin Dreeshen offers his condolences to everyone involved and goes on to say this incident is a stark reminder of why drivers must slow down and stay alert in construction zones where crews are often working just meters from traffic. Highway 16 was closed in both directions for a time. It has since reopened. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Parkland County.
An Edmonton couple is looking for answers from Alberta Health Services. They say their son died waiting in the emergency room of the Royal Alexandra Hospital earlier this month. As CTV's Connor Hogg reports, they're still waiting for confirmation from AHS.
This poor kid, he had a tough life.
Alan and Penny Smith say they're living with the constant reminder of the death of Alan's 33-year-old son, Travis. The Smiths say Travis was diagnosed with schizophrenia when he was 16. He received AISH and lived in an apartment until he was evicted 3 years ago. From then on, Travis lived on the streets.
Around West Edmonton Mall, because he used to hang around. Every time I was over there, I was looking over my shoulder. Trying to...
because his disease took over, sometimes he was unapproachable.
Almost 3 years to the day Travis was evicted, the Smiths got a phone call from Travis's mom. She told them police said Travis had died from a drug overdose at the Royal Alexandra Hospital. The Smiths say they later found out it happened while he was waiting for care in the emergency room.
We love the child, we love the man, we just didn't have the opportunity to guide him through life. He fell through the system.
About a week later, the Smiths started hearing media reports about an unnamed man dying in the Royal Alex's ER. They decided it was time to share his story.
He deserves to have some dignity and a name put to him. They are not telling us that was Travis. We have called this patient relations. We've gone to the hospital. We've tried numerous times. They've called us back, and they will say this is private information for the patient and the family. Well, the patient is dead, and we're the family.
We asked the Minister of Hospital and Surgical Health Services why the family is being left in the dark. A spokesperson says questions regarding protocol around what can and cannot be released should be directed to AHS. AHS told us it's looking into it. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
In January, the province promised a triage physician program after another ER death late last year. The province confirms recruitment is still underway. It says compensation discussions with the Alberta Medical Association are ongoing. Women escaping domestic violence in rural parts of Alberta may soon have a tougher time finding help. Provincial funding cuts have left more than a dozen shelters debating losing staff or programs. CTV's Amanda Anderson reports.
We don't want deaths, and that will happen because there's not enough services.
The women's shelter in Rocky Mountain House helped more than 200 women and children fleeing domestic violence last year, but its director says it had to turn away more than double that number because of capacity.
Being a 21-bed shelter and not having affordable housing, low-income housing in our community, we always have to look outside the community. And so that means our shelter gets kind of bottlenecked.
Easton worries about the future now that the UCP government is cutting 5% of its funding.
Are we going to close programs, or am I going to terminate staff? And if I terminate staff, then we're closing programs. So I'm not sure what this is going to look like.
The province says extensive engagement was done to update its funding approach, one it says considers geography, community needs, and operating costs. The head of the Alberta Council of Women's Shelters says she was involved in those discussions, but says there was never any mention of cuts.
It doesn't seem like a big number, but when you're already struggling, when you're already in a deficit, it's a huge number. And 5% could be anywhere from, say, $30,000 to $150,000. So that's going to look different from every shelter.
Last week, the province did announce more money for many shelters, but the ACWS says it didn't realize it was at the expense of more than a dozen rural ones.
We want to be grateful that those the shelters that are getting the money are getting an increase, but also, why isn't everyone, or why isn't at least the funding staying stable for those that didn't get an increase?
The ACWS has launched an advocacy campaign asking Albertans to reach out to the Children and Family Services Minister to provide those answers.
Our government has not provided us with enough time. We need time to figure out how this is going to work.
They're asking the July 1st date cuts are scheduled to take effect be delayed a year. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Alberta police agencies are receiving millions in provincial funding to fight organized crime, including extortions. Edmonton Police, Calgary Police, RCMP, and Alert will receive a total of $8 million. $2.2 million will go to the Edmonton Police Service. The money will be used to purchase surveillance, intelligence, and forensic equipment to help disrupt criminal operations and enterprises. In 2024, EPS said it concluded its investigation into a series of extortions in Edmonton with 6 arrests and 54 charges. A small resurgence after that prompted the creation of a joint forces operation with RCMP.
These files are often sophisticated and technology-enabled, requiring significant time, coordination, and specialized expertise to protect our communities. Project Gaslight demonstrates the scale of these investigations, requiring nearly a year's worth of work and about $650,000 in resources.
EPS continues to work with RCMP on extortion cases. Its last update in March said it identified 5 additional suspects operating in the Edmonton area. 2 of them, including the ringleader, were removed from Canada. The UCP government has formally confirmed the date and format of the October 19 referendum and the question on separation. Premier Danielle Smith and her cabinet issued an order in council today confirming details of the vote. The separation question will ask Albertans to pick one of 2 options. Either Alberta should remain a province of Canada, or the government of Alberta should commence the legal process required under the Canadian Constitution to hold a binding provincial referendum on whether or not Alberta should separate from Canada. The cabinet order also confirms the vote will not be binding. Mail-in ballots will not be allowed. It's been a roller coaster few months for Alberta's oil and gas sector, which means it was a busy day at the annual Energy Roundtable. Some of the biggest industry leaders gathered in Calgary to discuss pipelines, international news, up and down prices, and how federal relations could impact it all. CTV's Tim Brook explains.
It's only been 2 weeks since the Alberta-Ottawa Memorandum of Understanding was finalized. So as you can imagine, it was discussion topic number one at the Energy Roundtable.
There's probably a certain amount of certainty that has to be achieved before, proponents will step in. But I think once that certainty is there, they're going to step in.
The feasibility of a new pipeline is still somewhat unknown. Most potential proponents are currently focused on other projects, and costs look to be ballooning already.
With the current regulatory environment, building a pipeline to the West Coast, to keep it very simple, is probably twice the cost of just going south.
Shipping and emissions reduction initiatives will be pricey, and companies will eventually need to boost production to fill the new line. One oil tycoon tells us some market therapy is needed.
If you put your house on the market and you say, I want $1 million on it, you're going to get feedback. Maybe it's worth $1 million, maybe it's worth $1.2 million, maybe it's worth $800,000. The investors are going to get the feedback.
That's exactly what the Prime Minister was seeking out Thursday in New York.
Canada has much of what the world needs and wants from energy. That is what an energy superpower looks like when it decides to really act as one.
Mark Carney told American investors Canada is ready to step up. The opposition says he'll need to do more than just talk before confidence returns.
We need a lot more by way of a plan and some concrete steps that are going to be taken to allow private industry to step forward.
The province's pipeline proposal is due next month. Tim Brook, CTV News, Calgary.
Also announced at the roundtable, energy company South Bow says it will not go ahead with a partial revival of the Keystone XL pipeline until there is more guaranteed permit stability south of the border. Repair work on the Dawson Bridge begins with a full closure overnight tomorrow into Saturday. The bridge will be closed from 8 p.m. Friday to 7 a.m. Saturday. Starting Monday, a single lane closure will be in place on the bridge for 2 weeks. Other full closures are scheduled for the weekends of June 19th and June 26th. The city says work on the bridge is expected to be completed this summer. A new program is now available to help Edmontonians with disabilities find work. Pathways held its Edmonton location's grand opening today. It's run by Open Door Group, which has been operating in BC for the past 50 years. The community-based program helps people facing barriers like disabilities find jobs. It works with local companies to find the positions. Pathways says sometimes the hardest challenge for their clients is just showing up.
Sometimes it's that first step is the challenging piece. Like, do I face that fear of coming in? And we've tried to create a warm and welcoming space where people feel psychologically supported, but welcome.
Pathways creates an individualized program for each person and uses wraparound supports to help them. A local organization that supports migrants is raising money to help newcomers find jobs. The Plum Blossom is an annual lunch held by the Edmonton Newcomer Centre. Every year, the centre helps more than 10,000 migrants access services and find work. This year, it's hoping to raise $65,000.
So this is an opportunity for funding partners and community to show their support for migrants, to show that migrants are important here in Alberta, here in Edmonton, and they do this through participating as well as, donating to the organization.
Our Josh Clausen emceed today's fundraiser. Coming up next, what's in store for this year's St. Albert Children's Festival? Plus, who will take over the hill at the Edmonton Folk Music Festival in August?
And how do you get a really good lineup? And I answered, just popped into my head, you make sure every artist is really good.
Good evening, folks. 30 degrees in Edmonton today, and we'll get one more 30-degree day tomorrow before the things start to change over the weekend. Still not bad Saturday. Wet, windy, and a lot cooler by Sunday. We'll get into those details in just a few minutes. Friday, what impact could a separation referendum have on Alberta's economy, and what costs are not being factored in? Plus, Canada's World Cup roster revealed tomorrow. We'll track it for you ahead of the match here on Monday.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
People from Spruce Grove and Stony Plain are coming together to support families facing food insecurity. Tri-Region Hunger Day brings volunteers, sponsors, and community partners to grocery stores across the city. Grocery stores are accepting non-perishable food items and donations for the Parkland County Food Bank. Organizers' goal is to raise $60,000 and 9,000 kilograms of food.
We thought we would use the World Hunger Day that falls on May 28th every year, create our Tri-Region Hunger Day, not only collect the food and funds needed to feed families over the summer, but have some community conversation about what the need is and why people need help.
Organizers say the impact will last long after the final donation. This summer's folk music festival lineup has been released. Thousands will gather on Gallagher Hill to take in headliners, including Nathaniel Rateliff, Three Sacred Souls, Cat Power, and Of Monsters and Men. As CTV's Curtis Goodrum explains, one local artist will have her dream come true.
How do you get a really good lineup? And I answered, it just popped into my head, you make sure every artist is really good.
Edmonton's Folk Music Festival lineup is out now. Kaylee G is one of 4 artists from a local music school who will play this summer's Folk Fest.
I describe my sound as cowboy pop, kind of. So I was saying earlier today, it kind of lives right in between like Johnny Cash and Chapel Roan or Sabrina Carpenter.
She says she's been attending Folk Fest for years. Stepping onto the stage became her dream.
Just seeing my name on the poster feels so cool and so surreal next to, like, again, people who I like really have looked up to for so long. It feels huge.
Kaylee G is one of 60 artists performing here at Gallagher Park August 6th to 9th. Organizers say, aside from the performances, not much is changing with this year's Folk Music Festival.
It's the same size. It's been the same size for at least the last 10 years. We're maxed out. We don't know how many kids are coming down. We sell 14,000 tickets a day, 11,000 weekend passes and 3,000 singles.
The price of a 4-day pass is increasing by $10 for adults and seniors. Other tickets will cost the same as previous years.
We have this thing with our audience. If they keep buying tickets, we can keep bringing in the level of talent that we're bringing in.
Wickham says many artists return to Edmonton thanks to the crowd.
So I think there's kind of a real meeting that you don't get in a concert, and it's different. And our reputation is very good for hospitality. Western Canada.
Kaylee G will get her opportunity to play in front of her hometown crowd on the show's opening day.
I've been manifesting and hoping would happen for a long time, so this feels really huge for me.
Tickets go on sale June 6th. Curtis Goodrum, CTV News, Edmonton.
The International Children's Festival of the Arts in St. Albert is promising to be even more magical this year. A special preview today including breakdancing, musical performances, and more. That included festival staple Fizzlewit, who will take kids on a fairy finding adventure. Festival organizers say this year there will be a mix of old favorites and new experiences, including a French magic show.
It's about a magician and his unruly assistant that happens to be an inanimate object come to life. And the magic is something we've never before seen here. And it is really, really mind-blowing and incredible.
Don't tell no one, but I would say that here in St. Albert, we have some of the finest fairy finders you can possibly imagine.
The Children's Festival runs tomorrow through Monday. Edmonton is hosting some of the brightest young minds in the country this week for the Canada-wide Science Fair. The annual event is underway at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Hundreds of students are presenting projects on math, science, and engineering. Organizers say it's the largest STEM event in Canada with prizes and scholarships available.
We'll be giving out nearly $2 million worth of
of awards and prizes and medals and so on. Most of that is university entrance scholarships, but we do have cash prizes and, of course, and our medals, which are highly coveted by the students who come here.
The event runs until Saturday. Still ahead, looking for love. How far one man is willing to go to find his future wife.
Had to think outside the box and think of a way that I can stick out more than all the online profiles.
Programming brought to you by the music of Harry Potter with your Edmonton Symphony Orchestra. Learn more at winspearcenter.com.
Welcome back. Mid-teens this morning. 30 degrees this afternoon, 10 degrees warmer than average, and we'll be around 30 for a daytime high again tomorrow. Watch midday tomorrow. This is tomorrow morning. Could see some spotty showers and thunderstorms in the morning hours off to the southeast, and there's a slight risk midday for a shower or maybe even an isolated thunderstorm near the Edmonton area. Most of the stormy weather, though, tomorrow is going to be in the afternoon and evening hours in northwestern sections of the province. Could see some severe storms up in these areas, so we'll keep a close eye on that situation. Looks like a lot of that, if not all of it, falls apart before it hits the Edmonton area tomorrow night. Saturday, mostly cloudy to a mix of sun and cloud. There might be a couple scattered showers around. I think we're dry for most of the day Saturday. Should get into the low 20s with wind gusting to about 40 kilometers per hour. It's Sunday that the rain starts to move in. You've got this big upper level low that's going to develop, and it's going to get stuck right in this area here. And so day after day of rain for parts of southern, central, and north central Alberta. Heaviest rainfall totals by the end of Tuesday are going to be in the purple and pink zones here. So Edmonton's on the edge of this, but I do think we get a good several days soaking. Heaviest rain, though, likely staying off to the south into the east of the city. Could see in excess of 100 millimeters of rain. There will likely be some localized flooding in some areas. 15 degrees. Fort McMurray tomorrow morning should be in the mid-teens as well for Grand Prairie and Red Deer. Look at Edmonton, 17 for a low. 20 is the average high for this time of year. Around 30 across the northeast. Chance of some evening thunderstorms in Fort McMurray. Afternoon thunderstorm risk across the northwest. Near 30 in Red Deer, 32 and 31 for Lloydminster Coronation, up around 30 here in Edmonton. Just that slight chance. Most of tomorrow looks like just partly cloudy skies. Gust to 40 on Saturday, gust to about 50, maybe even 60 Sunday, Monday, with periods of rain, at times heavy, and a big cool down, about 10 degrees cooler from Saturday to Sunday. Temperatures should return to the 20s by the end of next week. That is your forecast.
A man in Spruce Grove who's looking for love is using an unusual method. CTV's Nair Manisa has his story.
This billboard on a busy West Edmonton intersection features ads of all kinds.
There's my sign.
Including one looking for love.
Marriage is very important to me, and I'm looking for a life partner, a wife.
Spencer Griffin Beale is taking an unconventional approach to finding love. He's advertising his desire to get married through a billboard campaign.
I had to think outside the box and think of a way that I can stick out more than all the online profiles and everything.
MarySpencer.ca is splashed on the ads. There you can learn more about the 40-year-old and send a submission if you're interested. He says conventional dating methods just aren't panning out.
My impression that I got from the dating event I was at last night was that everybody, just like me, is frustrated with the online dating.
It makes the companies a lot more money if we're kept swiping longer.
This University of Alberta professor says the dating landscape has changed. Technology has made it easier to meet people, but maybe not the right people.
Lots of concerns about bad actors or maybe dishonest users, and enhanced digital tools to facilitate people not putting their real selves forward.
A local matchmaker is applauding Griffin Beale's billboards.
Everyone wants love. I think there's a human nature in us that we want companionship, and so if you're not finding that, I think that it's really amazing that you're going out there and you're doing those things.
Megan Tishuk says she's seeing others getting creative.
A lot of people will use business cards. They'll have their name, number on it, Instagram, whatever it is. It'll say, if you're single, let me know. Or I see friends will put on like a QR code or something, and they'll be like, this is my single friend.
For Griffin Beale, he's hoping this billboard campaign works.
If they're interested, just don't be afraid to reach out. My pictures on the site may look mean, but I'm not mean.
And that his future wife is just a click away. Nair Manisa, CTV News, Edmonton.
All right, that is all the time we have tonight. Thank you for tuning in and have a good rest of your night.